Todd Medina, Soulogy One Studios, bringing you a little church on Sundays, Soulogy style. Woo! Hit it! Woo! There is a river before us all. Some would call it the river of faith. To others, it is a river of fear. On the other side is a timeless truth laying deep within our gifts and dreams. We may approach this river in mass, yet each one of us will crease the peace of the still and cool waters alone. How deep and dark they may be beneath the shadow of the sun. When will we know, and tell me, when will we be done? Questions of faith, questions of fear. I cannot carry both with me, nor is there a bounty underfoot. So I'm going to leave fear behind. I'm going to take faith with me, because I am soul. Oh, hell yeah. Woo! Hit it. Woo! All right, man, we got to start the day with some music. We got our brother Purna Ananda with us in the house.
Hello.
We got to have some little music with it. Yeah. Let me pull it. Yeah, huh? Music is what?
I like.
Yeah, music is a universal language, right?
I like all music, whatever music. If music is nice, I like music.
We all got to shake our soul's ass every now and then. You know, we can talk about all this stuff that's been going on. We can talk about the galactics and the angelics and the archangels. We can talk about everything, man. We can talk about, but you know, sometimes we just need to shake our mind and our heart and our soul's ass and just be what we are. Live, you know, just be, you know. I'm watching this energy, and I'm watching you know, everything out there, and you know, there's still some projecting going on. You know, I saw some stuff this morning, and we all do it. You know, it's you know, I just look at it this way.
I know.
I look at it this way. I look at it like, you know what? We all showed up. We all came here. We're doing the work, not the archangels or the angels or the divine essences or the galactics. We're doing the work because we're all of those things. Welcome to Soul Speaks 5D, my brother from Slovenia, Purna Ananda, and I hope you brought your flute. Hello, Deborah Denori, Karen Taylor.
Today, flute was last time.
What do you got today?
Today, but extra. I didn't show you last time.
Whoa, what is that, man? We'll have to get that out later.
Yes, because it's something very mystical. When I tell you the explanation, it's like diving deep, very deep. But like I want to say something about this speaking, talking. When you dance, when you groove, that moment you get into the now, here, into the soul.
That's right, man. I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills with that. Yeah, absolutely, man.
That moment you get everything. And sometimes when we talk, we only mentally go somewhere far away from that now, here. Just we get million more questions. Yeah. Sometimes we need to dance only and we got it.
That's right, man. That's right. We need to be like the Sufis, man. We need to be like the whirling dervishes. Yeah, and we can do that now. We don't have to be like traveling around in a bunch of, in a caravan. We don't have to be in the physical proximity of each other. We can actually do that anytime, any place, anywhere. We can do it in our imagination. We can do it etherically with each other. We can do it, turn on the camera and do it. Hell, I
Yes.
do it right now, but my back's so sore I can't dance anymore, man. I'm gonna have to do something about that.
You will get
So
younger, no problem. It's
I know, man. I think we're all getting longer. Hello, Sheila Sen. What's going on? Hey, we don't
yeah,
even know what we're getting into today. This is we had like Morgan's schedule, I
yeah.
think 78 shows in March.
Mm.
And when you hit me up the other day, I just got back from Honolulu. I had to go fly over there to send her off. And then I had to go to the government office to get the visa paperwork. So when she comes back in 3 months, she doesn't have to leave again. And
You are in you
I
are in
was hurting,
Hawaii.
man. I was all effed up, man. I was like, man, my lady's gone. I'm over here by myself. I got to do all these shows, and I'm like, man, So my point is I'm trying. I don't really have like shows to schedule on the short term, but I thought, let's do a show. Let's do a show next day or next day after. So we don't
Yeah.
have to do the regular show. Usually cut it off at an hour. We just roll with it. We don't know what we're going to talk about. We never do. But you did want to talk about. You did want to
Yes.
talk about. You
Love
wanted
is
to talk.
we
Yeah.
see everything is self-love if it's love,
Yeah.
We can show the authentic self. We don't need to no. But this I feel is very important what I said. Self-love and being yourself, because in this world actually there is some norm, and self-love is considered selfish by those who are in self-service and don't know what is love. So self-love is most important, and when we can really dare to express what is there in our heart unapologetically,
Yeah.
what I feel really, this what I
Yeah,
feel.
man. So I mean, yeah, self-love is like, what is that, man? I've had people. We're almost to 900 shows on
Yeah,
this program, this particular program. 3,000 show, 3,000 productions total, but a third of that has been this show. And I've seen people talk about self-love, everything from self stimulation to giving yourself a hot bath to eating what you want to whatever. I mean, what is the root of that? How do we get to the root of that? How do we find that core of our heart for ourselves? How do you do that, man?
this is the world of sacrifices I feel. Even the light workers and everybody, even now, these days, too much in sacrifice. When we really can be sincere, I feel, to our heart, whatever feels to our heart, yes, we do. And whatever not, if I'm now tired, I say I'm tired. If I don't have time, I say I don't have time. When we really, I feel, honor ourselves, our
Yeah.
emotion, our energy, and we do not apologize anymore for rejecting somebody, for accepting somebody, for being ourselves. When we
Yeah.
give ourselves that care, that love, and that balance between giving and receiving, when we really honor ourselves, I feel like we honor the others. Or
Yeah,
even more,
man.
because self is actually what I feel. More I love myself, more I find myself, more I know myself. And when I know myself, I know that I am you. And now I can love you and serve you also. Because I know myself, and that self is also you in another form.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Self love is broad. We can speak million hours and we don't say nothing.
Well, yeah, and that's true. Yeah. That's very true. Yeah. I had I had somebody hit me up that I've got some history with, right? And this is something I think that's coming up with people. This happened last year, I gotten attacked a lot. They attack me, that's okay. They attack Morgan, that kind of gets me upset.
Yeah,
but this is just an example. And this is self-love to me. So, right. So they're like reaching out to me now and they're like, hey man, I want to talk to you, da, 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 da. And I'm like, man, I don't want to talk to you. But my heart says, wait a minute, that's a mirror of you. Do I need to talk to you? Right. I need to make sure that I leave every situation in a vibration of integrity and full integration. So how do I do that? So I just say to the person, these people, it's more than one, I have to say something, and I can't say, hey, you know what you did was not cool.
Yep.
You haven't brought it up. You just want to sweep it under the rug. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to say, I'm sorry. You don't want to say I messed up. And so these people, I know I can't say that because that's like an expectation I'm putting on them. I got to understand they had a journey. They did what they did. That's okay. But that doesn't mean I got to talk to them. So what am I going to do? I'm going to reach out to these people and say, look, I love you unconditionally, but I just don't want to talk to you. And I think that's what you're talking about. You're talking about being honest with yourself and authentic and raw with yourself. And then, like you said, you don't have to go into these explanations. You just know in the non-physical, which is really our power, the thoughts and all that everything gets straightened out. Yeah.
Yes, because I'm also very sensitive and people need much from me, want much from me. And this example, it's nothing wrong if I don't want to talk to you. We just feel in this world of karma that everybody owes us. If we have expectation, we feel the other one has to fulfill it. Even if he never agreed and said that he will do something, we put that expectation out and then we get offended if it's not fulfilled. And when we love ourselves, we are no more hurt if somebody is offended because we do not want to do what they want, but we understand that they are offended and hurt only because of their expectation.
Yeah. Yeah, and it goes back to the and this isn't an easy pill to swallow.
That's the state of karma, I feel, because you love yourself enough that you free yourself, and then you help out of love that you help others.
Yeah, man. I got a note this morning from somebody that I respect a lot, who was telling me about somebody that I respect a lot. I respect everybody. And man, it was a pretty intense thing. And I was just like, everybody showed up, man. Everybody showed up. We've all been subjected to the conditioning and programming. And we're talking some deep level, high level shit here. We're talking some psyops, some fourth dimensional and higher psyops run through organizations like the CIA and the British intelligence. We're talking about, mind control. We're talking about, we've overcome all this stuff. Yes. And so if somebody is still being affected, and we're all affected, we need to understand that everybody should be allowed their sovereignty to heal and to break through this bullshit and the programming, to claim their own sovereignty and liberate themselves, because we all have the ability to do it. And each and every one of us who showed up is a freaking god, goddess, equal, sovereign. And I don't care if it's a 22-foot reptilian or archons or somebody who's abusing you in a relationship or a job that's full of dark matter and that's not good for you. Nothing has dominion over you. And the best thing you can do for your brothers and your sisters is to do the best thing for yourself and say, I will not stand for anything but pure truth, love, wisdom, courage, period.
I went through, through these years of spiritual awakening, because I'm so sensitive, and I guess I had such a karma. People wanted so much from me, and uh, much was of things, that much lies, much this, much expectation, much games, and always. And I was really, I feel like that pain before the period of self-love, that pain when you are giving away what you don't want to give and dealing with what you don't want to deal, and just because people want it, people want shit, so you smell like shit. But now I know it's not my shit. If you want shit, it's yours, you can have it.
You can have mine too if you want to. But hey, somebody asked, how do I invite someone to this conversation? All you got to do is click share and then just send it to your friend by message or on your page or whatever, on their page. Yeah, man. You know, and you know what? I got to hand it to you, man. Because look, there's a lot of people. Look, first of all, the bottom line is, if we're focused on somebody else, and I do honor everyone's journey, I do, and I think we all do, but we're starting to have a metamorphosis. We're starting to have a metamorphosis here in the Lightworker circles, where people at one time are saying, hey, these people aren't awake. Hey, these people are wrong. Hey, these people this and these people that. That's just separation. And now we're starting to have this convergence where anything that's said that has a negative connotation is not accurate. I'm sorry, it's not the truth. It's judgment, it's separation. I saw a post today where one person was pointing out another person. I love both these people.
Yeah, I block people for that. I see that I block. If you do this on my page, you're gone. You don't even, I don't want to talk to you. I will say to you, please remove this comment. I will tell to him, if he doesn't remove, I remove him and over and finish.
That's your field of energy, man. But you know what I'm saying is that, you know, often, more than often, if not always, what comes out of our mouths, is the most direct communication you're receiving from the universe, whether you're talking about yourself or somebody else. You're just not recognizing it in yourself. So if I've got to point out to somebody else, hey, publicly, hey, you are not a good, you know, you are not standing in truth, period, or you're in the dark, you know, that's a big one. There's something in myself that I'm not seeing, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And sometimes somebody says, I just given you constructive criticism. I said, who the fuck are you?
Man, you're
giving me constructive criticism. I see you. I see all your flaws. You cannot see them. I tell you nothing. So please, if I can leave you alone seeing all your dirt, and I'm also disturbed by your illusion, if you are misunderstood by me, if you don't like this Facebook and internet is so big, I think you can find something for yourself somewhere. Like this, I don't understand these people, you know.
Well, you know, and what I will tell you, yeah, I will tell you this. This is what I admire about you and people like you. Okay, I don't have to agree with what anyone says. You know, I resonate, like you said. There's Facebook is really big. You can find something out there that you resonate, right? But you know what I love? I love the people that have the balls to put it out there and not tiptoe around and just put it out there, right, wrong, and different. Just put it out there, because whatever makes somebody uncomfortable is the key to their own goal, is the key to their next expansion or elevation. They might project it on somebody else that posted this or posted that, but eventually that thing's going to come around, and come around enough times, they're going to take a look at themselves. I'm going to take a look at myself. You're going to take a look at yourself, and we're going to expand and take the responsibility for our own expansion and soul.
Like, I don't understand, like many people, when you are love, when you love yourself, when you really want to make change in the world, to spread some real love, some real truth, like you see somebody who is walking in the wrong direction, but this is their free will. I will never give any name. I don't have time. I have to focus on love. But same people have time to focus, putting dirt on somebody else, pointing fingers. I don't understand. But those real masters, they are all silent. They focus on that,
Yes.
spreading love, spreading unity. We are all gods. We are not of this world of hate. This is third dimension, this is fourth dimension, and people are not even realizing that they are acting in third dimensional ways by pointing fingers. It's not your dimension. If you don't like what he's doing, leave him alone. It's multi-dimensional Earth. Stick on your timeline. Why they bother? I don't. I understand, but I say I don't understand because
and yeah, this is another thing too, man. I agree with you. We're standing in the third dimension. We're standing in the fourth dimension. We're standing in the fifth dimension. We're standing in the sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, and on. Okay.
Yeah, all over
but it's not going to be the government, the world government bailing us out and saying, oh, we're exposing all things that have been hidden from you. And we're going to now be truthful with you. And we don't have a fucking agenda. We're better than you. We're smarter than you. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be spaceships landing. It's not going to be a religious icon coming down out of the sky on a chariot, blowing smoke rings out of his ass, carrying lightning bolts. It's us. It's up to us in the personal decisions that we make and in the self-development and expansion that we have within ourselves that creates a collective dimensional shift, period. It's not a financial reset, and it's not anything else that's been out there, because I can promise you half of that stuff that's been put out there is a PsyOps program meant to lead you astray, period.
Yes, I feel it. I don't like I go. But I will not, you know what I feel? Like, I know you also, I'm very sensitive. I don't like much stuff what people say and do, but I don't have time and energy to tell them you're wrong. You have right for that. No problem.
Yeah.
This is the point I feel of this, what you said before. People are saying these things, pointing fingers. They have right. It's not for you. I don't understand this mentality. I'm repeating again myself, but
no, but and we'll get off the subject. But you know what? I go back to the same thing. What?
Like you said, we have to. It's about me.
Yes. It's not about anybody else. Look.
Me, rising my vibration. If I'm focusing on all this shit, what I don't like, I will become what I don't like. So if somebody wants to really ascend, he has to make that shift within himself. Like being the honeybee, honeybee goes where love is, where flowers. If there is a pile of shit, one flower is on the top, honeybee is there on the top on the flower. And you can find a fly amongst a million of flowers and find that little piece of shit, and it will land up there.
Okay. Yeah. And so, you're right. And ascension is a personal journey. Don't take anything personally. But the bottom line is, I think we're moving into a vibration now. And anything that separates us, any label, I don't care. Somebody just put up there a Virgo, Amanda. I don't care if it's your horoscope sign. If I'm a Sagittarius and you're a Virgo, that's a separation. I am not going to be controlled or disempowered by the way the stars are set up, by Mercury going into retrograde. I don't give a damn what it is outside of me. This was all put together by all of us. I'm not going to sit there and wait and on this occurrence or that occurrence or this person saying, hey, on this date, this is going to happen. Bullshit. Okay. We have the ability to change this thing in the moment every single day. This is not about being ascended. This is about ascending constantly. Ascension is in motion, spiritual inertia that's moving unencumbered through the universe, expanding Mother Universe's outer breath. And the only thing that can stop it is when we give our power away, because the moon came out today full and it changed my biology. Well, I can change my DNA. I can change my biology. I can change my thoughts. I can change my heart. I can open my heart and my mind and my spirit anytime, all the time, in every single moment. And that's what this is about.
But you know, like you said, moon, this energy, that energy, everything is there. Yes, everything is there, helping us to grow. But sometimes people tend to blame these things, and then we are again in victim mentality. I'm victim of the moon, I'm victim of the Mercury retrograde, I'm victim of Illuminati, and then we come, like I wrote today, victim of the devil, and everything, instead of learning and growing, we have somebody to blame and some event to blame. And like you said, I believe in my feeling when I listen to things, like you said, more than half of things out there are illusions filtered through not so pretty filters. And so we are, that's why I always tell to everybody, feel in your heart, don't think. Because I was like this, I don't know, from very young age. When I feel something, I listen to a video, I read something, I feel no. And I won't question why no, what is there, I just follow that no. And I feel everyone, if they stop living in their minds and go here a little bit more, they can get this. And they will also feel the energy, because bullshit is out there, like you said, to deceive everyone in false ascension matrices. And then we have victim mentality. We can blame the moon, we can blame the retrograde. Every day is some planet going somewhere that we can blame it. And
yeah, right. It's like, it's okay. But everything serves us. Everything has served us. But what gets you to a certain point, or what person or process or philosophy or whatever, isn't necessarily going to get you to the next point. That's why they call it awakening. We put this thing together almost like a box. We put this thing together with the stars and the formations and this and that, and it's a containable thing, right? It has a ceiling in it. But when we awaken, as we are awakening, as we are ascending, as we are focusing our attention on the universe that we are inside of ourselves, we start to break out of this box.
Yes.
That's what we're doing here. We're expanding the universe. We're expanding Mother Creation. We all, and again, I'm going to go back to it. We all showed up.
Rainbow.
We all showed up. I don't care if it's the
rainbow shining around you.
Yeah, we all showed up. We all showed up. We all deserve the love, honor, respect, and reverence for coming down here and making this happen. Now let's get past all that story. Let's focus on ourselves. Stop looking at other people. And every time something comes out of your mouth when you say, she did that, he did that,
yes,
they don't get this, they don't, you need to look at we need to look at ourselves. I'm putting myself there. We need to look at ourselves, and we need to say, what is it in me that I'm missing? Because that's the problem. Because if I have a problem with something outside of myself, there's something inside of myself that I need to integrate or expand or awaken or something. Okay. And the last thing I'll say is, anything that we want, anything that we desire, which we all came here to grow. Okay. All we got to do is ask. That's all we got to do. And it may not come in the human words and say, universe, can you tell me what's wrong with me? Why am I offended by these people over here? It's not going to come back and say, well, Todd, let me give you the answer. It's going to show you in signs and images and occurrences and things that pop up in front of you, you know?
Yeah, or in other experiences and life. So you get the answer in experience, and then life is life. We have to desire to get the answer, because we can always blame everything.
Yeah.
And like you know what I love? You spoke before about that separation between I'm a Pleiadian, I'm Arcturian, I'm this, I'm Gemini, I'm this, I'm that. I kind of felt, I don't know, I'm in love in everything of this. So I consider myself, I identify myself with everything.
Yeah.
With Lightworker, with Starseed, with, I don't know, Buddhists love me, Muslim love me. I have here people from all over the traditions. I just feel like this. I feel, I now change the subject a little bit, but I feel we have so much powers within us. We are not meant to be only a healer. We can be a healer, a teacher, we can be a guide. We have mystic powers, not just one, not clear-seeing, clairaudient. We have everything within us because we are the source, we are the rainbow. We are not connected just to Pleiadian, just to Arcturian, but through our source that we all are and multidimensional self. There is so lot of more of this. We are not connected just to one higher self, but to multitudes. That's why I feel we are everything. And when we really stop separating ourselves, because I was like this programmed, I really feel like I'm everything. I don't identify myself. I have some identifications that are maybe predominant, but I really love the rainbow of everything. And I feel we all can see that we are everything. And everything what people are doing wrong today, bad, that disturbs me, I don't react, I don't respond, I don't fight, because, hey, few years ago I was same shit, and sometimes even these days I a little bit
Me too.
step in the
Me too.
direction that I have to regret after. And that's why everyone who I judge, everyone who I separate, I judge myself. I separate myself only from everyone, never nobody else, always myself.
It's never them. It's always me.
Yes.
It's never them. It's always me. So let's take
What bothers me more is within me, and then
right.
it's just time that I have to work on it.
And you know, we have more. Let's take a halftime break and let's get it. But you know, we have more. See, we can't overlook what's happening right now. Our bodies are speaking to us. You know,
Oh, yes.
these energies come down, or however you want to put it. The veil's lifting, or whatever. The awareness collectively is expanding, so it's affecting all of us. So what happens is it's like pressure. And that pressure is on your body physically, it's on your mind, it's on your emotions. And we can either project it out, or we can go, man, why does my back hurt this morning? You know, why was I purging this morning? And I start talking to my body and say, okay, what's going on? Now we can actually look at these things and say, we don't have to say, oh my God, you know, this happened to me when I was 6 years old. And you know, we can just, it's all energy. It's all the same thing. We can command control of that energy. This is our body. We control these billions and billions of cells in our body, you know? And so it's changing a little bit. It's become, we have the opportunity to approach this thing more constructively and less personally towards others, and actually less personally with less judgment towards ourselves, and look at ourselves as a vehicle that carried us through this. How do we clean this thing up? You know, and that's a personal question for everybody. If you're a vegan, doesn't mean I have to be a vegan. If you worship the sun, it doesn't mean I have to worship the sun. Everybody's different. Everybody has to make their own decision. You want to get that instrument? You want to get that instrument out and tell us what it is, and bring us some harmony and peace and love and wisdom and courage.
Is no, you know what this is. It's
I don't know what it is. What is it?
Ektara. This is actually first string instrument of human beings, like recorded in modern history. Indians and Egyptians are fighting who is the owner, and both are using it spiritually. It's actually, you see, actually this is our ascended self. This is human being, galactic, or however we call. This is, you know, because here is our Mother Gaia, planet Earth, the world we live in, you know, here on the bottom. Here is the source. Up. We are tuned at the source. And the string of our life here is rooted deep in the Mother Gaia's heart, grounded and tuned up at the source. And it's actually healing instrument. It's used in a lot of, like in kirtan in India, in meditation. It's not really for something you can, it's meditation. It's very beautiful instrument. It's actually healing sound that really through years healed me. And last time I didn't bring it out. And because here looks like a pumpkin from a graveyard, I have to tell you the story behind of this. I never changed because it was broken actually to such little pieces like you see here.
Wow.
And that moment I realized whatever you put your mind at, you will do, because the friend was telling me you can never repair this. Everybody would tell me throw this away, but I was in trance. I just put out some glue and some things and I said I will play today. And I remember I was in trance just putting the glue and everything, and even here the membrane was cut and everything. And in that trance, that state of shock, it played like new, you know. So it's, I have to little bit.
How many strings does it have?
Have to find the real sound. It's got a little bit. It's like a really meditation instrument. If you go for meditation, you just put a rhythm and you are healing and you are, it's, I don't know, if I cut up and I play 2 minutes, you will feel what I mean.
Play it.
But maybe my microphone is not so good on the phone.
No, it sounds fine. It sounds fine. You're good. Yeah, play it. Give us a couple of minutes of it. Yeah.
I try to find the sound real. And you can play like this. So you really find that deep. It's like you can use it for healing and.
Wow.
It's like going down the river. This feels like going down the river.
Yeah, I can feel it in my throat chakra, my higher heart.
Yeah, it's a miracle. And Indians, they play like this.
Wow.
It's fun.
Yeah, man. That's
More gentle like here, because Indians say they never. I'm gentle. Also, I can be raw, but you can find that angelic sound.
it sounds very primordial very primitive, and it brings out it brings out in a natural way that the original tonality of our voices, you know, sound vibration.
It's a magic stick, you know.
Yeah, that's one way to bring up soul memory, man. You know,
But the story behind it, because it was. That's why always when I feel down, I will never make it. What I'm doing here, I look at this actor. I said, if you repair this with glue and some, you don't know even what this is, then you can do anything. And that's why I never changed the button.
Let me ask you, do you ever, because you're a musician, so do you ever do any? Yeah, man, you are. I've seen you, man. So do you do you do any chanting or any light language or any type of sound vibrational stuff from your throat chakra, from your heart?
Yeah. I invented something. I invented something because in India I was a little bit learning the throat singing, but now I'm a little bit cold. I cannot show you like this. But then I listened to my cat and I combined the cat and the Tibetan throat singing. I was doing combination. I'm a lion. So I created the pouring tone meditation. I sometimes do. I did some videos sometimes. It's funny. It's like a half cat, half Tibetan monk.
Wow. Wow. So try it. I'll try it with you. I'll try it. You know why? You know why? Because I really.
Oh, because I'm a little sore.
Yeah.
It needs throat. Let me. We will do. This is a lion with a cold now, a little bit. Okay.
A lion. All right. Lion.
Yeah, I can go from lion to cat, no problem. I'm good at impersonating animals, and this is something that descended to me in meditation once, and ever since I'm always doing it. And it's like if you see me in meditation, I'm sitting or I'm standing or what he's doing, and there's some sound coming. So it's really interesting to observe. You know what the fuck is doing. Like if people are looking here, but they are used to now already. It's going on for too many years. No problem. I can try.
Yeah, you can try.
Really, throat chakra. Because my throat chakra was completely fucked. It's healing to the end still, and this really helped me to break the chains and all this stuff. Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm a little bit cold, so I have to.
No.
So here you have a cat.
Wow. Dude, you definitely have some
time it opens you up. So I have to patent this because this is like Bruce Lee made combination. I make my crazy combinations always.
That's what we're doing, man. We're adding additional frequencies to an ever-expanding vibration. That's exactly what we're doing. We're all mirrors of the universe. That's what we're doing here. We're not just here, in a movie, staying in the box. The universe didn't stay in the box. The universe said, the Mother Universe said, I have a thought. What if I create this? And then that creation, which is made in the same image, starts to take on the same characteristics of expansion and creation. And that's what you're doing. You're creating something new. That's That's really what Soulogy is. Soulogy is, as I understand it, an energy, it's a consciousness that is not going to do anything that's been done before. It's you add frequencies. You know, that's why this show, this program is not an interview. It's not a talk show. It is two people having a conversation with everyone that's out there in a vortex where everybody's energy is affecting what is actually being put out. It's not me, it's not the other person, it's every single person adding the same frequency and with their own unique soul signature. Yeah. I don't know where this is all coming from, but you know, every time we connect, it's like, you know, it's what I just described. You know,
Yes, that's why. That's also in the title, being your authentic self, and that's I try to empower always everybody, whoever listens to me, reads me, to really, because I show my authenticity, my raw self. I say create yourself, don't just copy things, express your heart. Take some moves there, take some moves there. I like to mix all religions, all spirituality, all everything. There's no box. That's why I love Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said there's no box. Just
that's right.
express yourself from the heart, with your body, with your mind, with your heart, with your spirit. You have the that's I see it like everything is like a supermarket, free supermarket of spirituality, and everything is there, and you can just take whatever your heart desires and mix it up and take it and eat it and be it from the heart.
Yeah, that's right, man.
That's
right.
How the rainbow, I feel everything is a rainbow supermarket here. There is no separation, no box, nothing. Everything just is out there for us to rejoice in it, if our heart desires so. Otherwise not.
That's the key. That's the key. Yeah. Yeah. And then that's the key to what you headed this broadcast with, which is what we talked about at the top of the show. What is self-love? You know, I guess it doesn't really matter if someone is, or if I'll use my own, if I'm not focused on myself internally and equating everything to me.
Yes.
At least if I'm going to focus outward, it can't have a negative connotation if I'm coming from my heart. So you know the old saying, if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. Or you could put it in contemporary terms and say, if you can't say something nice, shut the fuck up. Yeah, talking to myself though, you know what I mean?
And if you did, because sometimes we do, then at least apologize from the heart.
That's very important. That's very important what you're saying. Yeah.
Because we all make mistakes sometimes. Even I feel every master did mistakes. These are the religious stories try to proclaim everything perfect, but history was very human, I feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no question. You can't have success without making mistakes. It just doesn't happen. There's a saying that I love, and it says, I am not going to judge myself by the number of times I have succeeded, but by the number of times, no, I am not going to judge myself by the number of times I've failed, but by the number of times I have succeeded, which is in direct proportion to the number of times I've tried. Right?
Yes, yes, yes. Because if I can add something, because master, he failed more times than somebody who didn't become a master even tried. Yeah. Failure makes you, mistakes make you. When you fall, you rise. Every time you're stronger, every time you're wiser. After every mistake, that's why I say there's no mistake, there's no failure. When you look back after some years, hey, I learned out of this so much. I have fallen, I have picked up. Every time I pick up, I'm stronger. On the end, I could not even fall anymore. On the end, what used to hurt me so much, now it happens. It's like, okay. So there's no failure, there is no mistake, there's only workout.
And like that post you did, about the devil, and not fearing that, I say and we're talking energy here. We're talking metaphor. So I say, bring the freaking devil, bring it on. Why? Because every time I've danced with that energy, I've expanded dramatically, but only when I didn't see it as separate of myself, only when I took it within myself and said, I'm responsible for everything I did. Nobody did anything to me. I'm responsible for putting myself in these situations that scared the hell out of a human being. But you know what? I am not just a human being, and I will not be afraid of anything, because that is disempowering, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. You know what? Here we have really priest who is awakened. Here is this church. I was not in a church many years, but he speaks to me. He listens to me more than he speaks. But he told me, because one day I was hitchhiking. I was telling him about the devil, about that we have to take responsibility and like this. And one day he hit me up with a story. You know, I saw him and he said that the devil was in front of the church and he was crying. You know, and the priest asked him, "What is wrong? Why are you crying, devil? What is wrong?" Because everybody is blaming me for all their sins.
Even the devil in us needs love, you know.
Because
you can't get clean if you're not dirty. You know what I mean? I mean, if you look at the sacred text, it didn't say let there be darkness. It said let there be light. Well, if they said let there be light and there was nothing but light, why would they need to say let there be light? You know, the holy darkness. That's what it is. It's holy. It's holy. It's the holy void. It is what it is. And in this realm,
yes, we understand, you know. But for those people who are in 3D, in 4D, their dimension is religion, duality, and like this. That's why I see religion is victim mentality. There is somebody to blame, and if you have somebody to blame, you have to point fingers at the devil, at the demons, and I don't know what. You will never become a master because you are being a victim, and you have to understand that these creatures are out there, yes, but they don't come to you anymore when there is no more this darkness within you, that they would mirror it, that you would mirror it, that you would attract it. So when you heal what they are pointing out, what is surfacing, you realize darkness has no power, and you are grateful for all the lessons, because the darkness was within me. And I saw there, I was attacked by dark beings because darkness was within me. There always has to be contract. Within me, something has to be to attract the external energy.
It's right. And if something is showing itself to you, what it's really doing is the same thing that devil was doing in front of the church. And that is, see me. Whether it's my wounded child appearing in front of me, whether it's a dark energy appearing in front of me, it's me appearing in front of me saying, hey, you haven't recognized this part of you. I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to integrate with you. And the same can be said for high, let's say, light. The same can be said for, let's say, a Christed being mirror image of you appears in front of you. That's also to tell you, I am you. Okay? It is all you. How can you be afraid of something that is part of you? You know, this fear, this separation, the galactic war history, all this stuff, the dark cabal, the Illuminati, all of this stuff, okay? Look, I saw a deal yesterday, and it said on March the 15th, there's going to be a worldwide protest. Worldwide protest, and we're not going to use the banking system, or we're not going to go to work. I say bullshit. We can all stand in our power. We don't need to communicate to everybody. We can all stand in our power, just us in the universe, because when we're us in the universe, it's all of our brothers and sisters. And we can say, I will not stand for this. This is illusion. This is not part of my reality. And we make this dimension elevate by the virtue of our own declarations, proclamations, and therefore the thoughts that we send out into this into this realm that we all share. We expand this thing from ourselves. We don't need anybody else to do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love talking to you, man. You're just like you're like an old, yeah, man. You're a brother, man. Yeah,
I
yeah.
I feel this path is not for the meek and weak. This path is for you have to really take responsibility, and when you take responsibility, it's self-love. And I feel it's self-love also when you do something. Like self-love doesn't feel every time nice, like when I'm doing every morning my training and all this. I don't maybe feel necessarily enjoy it all the time, and maybe I would like to the result and the health and the energy that comes after. This is what I want. So sometimes we have to do what is hard, and then things are easy. And the hardest is to take responsibility. And that's the self-love.
Yeah.
The victim has no self-love.
Self-love, there's something I referred to in my own journey for my first 2 years when I was on the streets. And I called it the hard loving of the soul, the hard loving of the soul. We've all been loved by somebody who, because they loved us, kicked us in the ass. The universe has a way of kicking you in the ass, and will kick you in the ass until you finally take that responsibility. And we've all had it done to us, and we've all done it to others, such as our children, and such as our children have done to us if we're acting like a child. You know what I mean? We got to stand on our own feet. If we do nothing but take responsibility for ourselves, we elevate the external. Without all the talk, without everything, just take responsibility for every single thing that's happened, period.
Own your shit, That's what it says.
Yeah. Own your shit.
What I see how I'm living these 3 years now, and only I know source sustains me, because there's no way. But if you really own your shit, if you take responsibility, if you do the work that you can do on the level that you can do, you are maintained even when everything works out. And that's self-love takes courage, trust.
Self-love is a motherfucker. Excuse my French. Self-love can be.
This is being your own fucking authentic self. Because you can say fuck because you know in your heart how it feels. This is the truth. Nobody is offended above. Only in this world, maybe somebody because of judgment. And when you really love yourself, you know what is in your heart. That's why I say God knows the energy. When I say fuck, it's like Osho said, it's multidimensional, most beautiful world. And that's self-love, that's being authentic. And yes, when you love yourself, when you are authentic, when you dare to do things that others will judge, people will judge you, yes. But it will not change the pure truth of your heart.
That's right. That brings up something else. That brings up something else I want to ask you about. So I'm looking at these people have taught some people may know the personality John of God, who's embroiled in all this controversy now. Okay, a religious leader. Now they're and they've talked about Osho before, and I don't have allegiance to anyone. I'm just bringing up a point. Stay with me. Now they're talking about Muji.
I don't know.
That Muji is running a cult, and that Muji is sexually, messed up and doing things he shouldn't do that don't coincide or correlate with his teachings or whatever, making his followers kiss his feet and this and that. Now, here's my point. Okay. Everybody has dominion over themselves.
Yes.
And I think what's happening here is we're starting to see people say, beware of false prophets. Beware of false prophets. Let me tell you something. Anything and everything outside of you is a false prophet. Anyone that is going out there and giving their power away, that's their journey. Respect it, honor it. They showed up for this trip. But If you're going to go out and point fingers at people, and I don't care if it's Hitler or Trump or Hillary Clinton or Muji or Osho or whoever, we go back to the same ball of wax. It's the same thing. To thine own self be true. That means own your shift. Stop pointing the finger, because if you're pointing the finger, there's something inside of you that needs some attention. And that's what's important.
You know, I sometimes, because I experienced much India, much of this shit, I sometimes write some things, but I will never give a name. I just want to protect people, that they don't have to deal, that they don't have to be fooled in this way. But my job is not to point finger at any guru and anything like that. And
that's
many
different.
of those you mentioned now, they are very perfect. I don't know. I don't see.
Different. What you're doing, what you do. I read your stuff. What you're doing is you're making people think. That's all. There's and I think that's a service. That's a service. That's a service to our brothers and sisters in humanity, to make people think. It doesn't mean you're always right. There is no right. But the fact is, you make people think. That's what the contribution is of what you do, and many people like you, is you make people think. You cannot be open. I am open-minded. I am soul. I am open-minded. You can't just be open-minded to the light. You can't just say, oh, I accept the light in its infinite power and wisdom and love. You also have to turn the other way and say, I accept the fact that what we call darkness is wide open and infinite too.
If you don't know the darkness, like if you don't know the darkness, darkness is to fool you dressed in the light. You have to know the darkness. You have to know the darkness.
You have to know, man. Listen, the darkness.
They acting in dark ways, and they don't even know.
That's it. I mean, what is the darkness, man? The darkness. Look, Morgan left 3 days ago, and the last week that we were together. Oh,
violate energy of somebody else, like, because darkness can be beautiful, though.
Yeah. Well, either way, it all turns out the same. But I was going to say, so the last week that Morgan was here, she left 3-4 days ago. We always have these dimensional experiences every day, and toward this end of this period we were together, we had some very deep interdimensional experiences, but we also had some physical manifestations of what we might call ETs, or small grays, or zeta reticuli, right? I look at each and every one of these occurrences, whether it's in the ethers or it's in the physicality or somewhere in between, as these veils come down, or as I can see more, or we can see more, or whatever. I don't care what it is. Nothing has dominion over me. Nothing. I can stand in my power against any energy and say, I recognize you. I take you in my heart. The physical transition of this body does not mean my death. If for some reason it's physically more powerful than me or whatever. But my point is that nothing has dominion over us. We are sovereign, free, fearless souls. And this applies in every dimension, in every realm, against any energy, whether we fully have integrated it or not. We can stand in our power in any moment in this timeless space and spaceless time.
When you understand, like, that's why I love that I was, like, in early age headed to India and was not so influenced by duality Western. I like this because they tell you there's no opposition, everything is part of the Supreme, everything is part of the Source, and this was good training, although I went through some terrible schools, but okay. But yes, we have to understand how can God have opposition, Source have opposition? How can there be any enemy? And I wanted to say before, this is most important, to have no enemies. And many masters have pointed this out. And sometimes people following their ways have enemies, and so much expression about enemies and who is the enemy and what is the enemy. But the point was, I don't have enemies, so
No, no. And I
Enemy.
know, I know
Try
you.
this within. Enemy. If there is no enemy within, there's no enemy outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this, more we have enemies, more we see enemies, more we see. You have to understand this is here.
Yeah. It is. And that's owning it, man. That's absolutely owning it. I mean, owning it is, and it's not, okay, it's not easy. Look, we've all had our traumas in our lives, but we also now understand that these things that were so horrific, okay, at the time, we also understand that they didn't kill us, okay? That we're still here, that we have purpose and meaning, that we're not just biological human beings that become worm dirt when the body transitions. We are spirit. We are spirit flesh. We're soul. And there's a reason for this. And this is one leg of an infinite journey of our life. We are unique and we are equal souls. And you're right. We have to own everything. And it's getting easier and easier to do that the more and more that people express their raw, real, authentic truth. You know, the last thing I'm going to tell you, I cannot wait. When I was on the streets for the first 2 years, the universe told me, it said, I want you to understand something, Todd. I want you to understand that the day will come that the entire world will know every single thing you ever did in your life. And I thought, holy shit, I have done some wild, crazy, embarrassing things. But you know what? I realized later that and think about it. Apocalypse means unveiling, that the truth, nothing but the truth comes out. So I realized later that that was a collective message that applied to me and everybody else. So I cannot wait for the day when every single person knows that every single thing that everyone else has ever done, past the point of embarrassment and shame and blame and all that crap. Okay. This is why the raw, real, authentic works. Okay. This is why it works. And to your point, the last thing I'll say, this is why self-love isn't an easy ride, because when you bare your soul, it's a little bit uncomfortable. It's scary.
When you do this, you start to feel. Your feeling really enhances. And then we are stepping on the shores of just that, what you now said. The 5D is all about in feeling. 5D beings, they know everything. They know everything what is in their beings, but on their level, there's nothing, no separation, no darkness, nothing of this, nothing that they would need to hide from each other. I feel you, I mean, they feel like I know everything what is within you. He knows everything what is within me. And when we come to that level, there is nothing within you anymore that you would need to hide, and everything is clear. So we are going there slowly, and we are getting this gift slowly to feel, to really feel. And I feel like playing with my mind, because when I trust that what I feel, I always is right. But when I trust this crazy fuck here, I always learn, again you went wrong. But when I really trust what I feel, I don't trust this one here, then always, I usually, 1 out of 20 I do here, but 20 out of 20 it is here, and it's always wrong. Mm-hmm. Always teaches me, hey, you should listen to your heart. Yeah. Everything. Okay, you blew it again, but I didn't blow it. I will learn eventually.
Somebody was on here a couple of weeks ago, and they talked about 3 things. They talked about what was it? It was like a trinity. It was a trinity. Another way to explain it, and it was the heart, the mind, and the stomach, the gut, the intuition, the instinct, right? And that really struck me, because I thought, sometimes we make mistakes from our heart. Sometimes we make a lot of mistakes from our mind. Yeah. But there's that instinct when and that's the alignment of all 3. And that's where the stomach, the heart, and the mind are in alignment, and you just know. And we've all done it. When you just know something's right, you know something's going to happen. But also when you go against it, because when you go against it, you always know too.
When I say heart, I always, because my words are sometimes I mean something else. I always include that stomach because that's that gut feeling. Yes.
Yeah.
But usually when something is good, I feel it always in my heart. I don't know what is in my heart, but I feel in my heart, and I trust my heart and stomach. If it butterflies there, everything beautiful. If there is something want to make me sick, okay, have to go. But when you really know, there's no doubt. You are just sure, you are at peace, you are not panicking. Will I go left? Should I do this? Should I really go in that direction? Should I go away or should I stay? When you really know, you are that peaceful knowing, no, this is not for me, sorry, I go away. Oh yes, this is what I want. There is, in that knowing, like you said, there is knowing, there's no doubt. They just, they can convince you, they can, I don't know what, I'm sorry, but I feel.
That's the thing about these labels, and even more so about these stories. Listen, everything is the same everywhere you go. All right. So in this physical consciousness that we have, there's certain dynamics and there's certain vibrations and frequencies. It's the same thing in the non-physical, on the other side of the veil. You're going to have the same egoic influence. You're going to have the same people or energies with agendas. So this is a training ground, and a very dense training ground. Okay, a very physical training ground where we are able to expand our skills and abilities, because it does involve the physical world. Okay, yes. If you refuse to give up, if you stand in your power and stand in your sovereignty, stand in your soul, no matter what happens, okay, that is a huge contribution. That is a huge contribution to what we call humanity, because you're expanding yourself. You've been in a lot of tough situations, I know. Yeah. In your history, I have too. And I can remember being in situations that I won't get into, okay? Where it looked really bad, and it was bad. But I remember reaching in. Yeah, like you talked about schools, like you talked about with the schools you went to. But I remember being in situations, outnumbered, in really bad situations, and I remember going to this place saying, I will not lose myself. In other words, I will not give my power away. I didn't even know what I was doing, but I also realize now that that's when I had the biggest expansions. This is, we all earned the right to be here. We were chosen by our paths, and it's an honor, and we need to stop looking for these spaceships and these saviors, and we need to understand that the honor is that we've been given the honor, the right, the respect, the reverence, and the love to expand the universe by the very example of our lives.
Yes. That's why if you look in 2016, if you look how my post, I was much referring to this archangel, that, and that was kind of, it was, and more after I just staying away from everything and trying to more from the perspective of love, more human. I'm not involving anything anymore. I'm just speaking my heart, speaking that truth, because we all are on the end human, because I'm Pleiadian, I'm Archangel Gabriel, I'm Jesus Christ, I'm Krishna. I don't know who are. I'm Purna, and you are taught.
Yeah.
And we are the new masters who were never here before. We were because it is so. It is so. So we have memories and all that. So I kind of more focus to guide a little bit people how to love themselves and how to find themselves, so they know who they are. And when they find themselves, they don't need to prove themselves anymore and defend. Yeah, this is the self-love. when you no more prove yourself and defend yourself with those who challenge you and those who do not believe in you. When you really love yourself, you know the love that you are. If you don't want to see me, if you say that I'm not, hey, I'm still love. And I love myself so much that I will leave you alone to think whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, that's the fuck it meditation. But you know, but you're right. You know, see, I remember when I first woke up and I was on the street again, and I remember I was communicating with certain faces of the universe. But I
Yeah.
also remember when I saw a crack, like a crack in what I was communicating with. And I thought, what the hell? Have I been fooled? Am I crazy? And I think from that point, I started to say, you know what? I can only trust myself, even if everyone thinks I'm crazy. I can only trust myself. And that's what my point is. It doesn't matter if we're in the higher dimensions or if we're here in this dimension. It's all the same thing. The bottom line is you have the power, and there may very well be energies that are really a reflection of your own that may try to dissuade you or persuade you from your own power. We are free, fearless souls. We are sovereign souls. We can stand in our power and create anything we want at any time, any place, anywhere. And this, I believe, is the crux of our mission. Our mission is to actually do it in this dense atmosphere and expand it and lighten it up, you know, and take this universe a place it's never been before. And we do that through the example of our lives, period.
Yes. Like this, you said this communication with higher beings is like it's filtered through the level and realization and dimension of the human who is channeling, who is communicating. So more and more, this human is in separation, in darkness, more and more that he need to heal, more and more of that filtered illusions comes through. Oh, and on the end, when you are free, you stop channeling because you are speaking from the heart. So then, yes, what else would you trust than your heart? Because I feel if I trust my heart, I trust the source of all sources, because center of the universe is the center of my heart. And if I speak from the heart and I have no doubt in the word that I'm telling, and I don't speculate, I'm speaking my truth, and whoever resonates to this, hallelujah, whoever not, it's like this. But yes, everything is filtered through the level of our consciousness. So that's why sometimes when you see people who are very religious, you read their channelings. People who have much hate, they channel about how somebody will wipe all the people who are bad away in one night. Everybody filters their own beliefs, their own unhealed stuff, and their own karma through the communications. And even if you really read some advanced channelings, they are telling you that no channeling is actually to be trusted fully, because everything is filtered through the conduct.
That's right, man. That's right. All right, brother. Let's do it again soon. Let's have one of these. We'll do it again soon. I gotta get ready for the next show in 35 minutes, and it's a sister by the name of Julie Leiden. She's a soul light mentor. I've never met her before, so if you guys want to come back in 30 minutes, check it out. Thank you all for your love and support and contributions for helping us keep this thing going. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you for having me, and everybody, please be blessed. And thank you for the honor that I could give you this world, and you could. Thank you for listening my babbling and our talk. And I love you all, and I love Todd, and I love love, and we are all love, and let there be love now, and everybody be blessed, please. Namaste.
Brother, I'll talk to you soon.